Well, hello, everybody that's on Facebook. How are you doing? This is your favorite Ruby girl, Dr. K. And once again, I have an awesome, fantastic guest, Mr. Brandyn Jenkins. And so I know y'all jealous. Y'all see us in our robes, you see us chilling. So this edition of the Ruby Girl Talk is going to be a little bit more laid back. And we'll tell you why we look so comfortable tonight. Like we're at home, like we're relaxing. And if you think about it, when you're at home, you want something comfortable. But what about having something comfortable and stylish? Stylish enough that when you walk outside that your neighbors is going to ask, "Hey, where you get that at?" Or something that you put on and it gets you in the mood to where you never want to leave your house again. So if you are an introvert like I am, then you really understand the concept of being at home and being comfortable. Soon as I get home, I'm in my pajamas, my work clothes, my outside clothes are gone, and I'm in my nice, comfortable robe. But before we get started, Mr. Brandyn, I want you to go on my page, find this video, and then I want you to share it with the people that know you on your page. And while you do that, I'm just going to give this $1 million commercial about the Ruby Girl brand. So the Ruby Girl comes from Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above the price of a ruby? So, ladies, this special is for you only. It makes you rare, virtuous, and valuable. So, the Ruby Girl is a platform that give women the opportunity to be restored again. So, what happened with us with this movement of wanting equal rights and everything like that? We lost respect. And so now we're fighting to get the respect that we always deserve. So that's what the Ruby Girl platform is for. It reminds you that you are a priceless princess, and it reminds you that you have worth and you have value. So let's get started tonight. Mr. Brandyn, if you would not mind, could you give us a 30-second introduction?
I sure can. Um, well, first, I want to say thank you for having me on this part of the show. I'm a big fan of your work, and I can really get behind what you're doing here. So, my name is Brandyn Jenkins, and I'm a fashion designer. I I design clothes for people that like to stay home, and my lifestyle brand is called Homebody Friends.
Cool. What's your website?
My website is homebodyfriends.com.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's all just I'm actually wearing one of my robes actually. So it's just all, clothes for people that like to stay home. So, we have you in the robe. I love the color, by the way.
It's popping pink.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what color is that?
I call it popping pink.
And I actually love the outfit that you chose. I'm gonna break that down a little bit later in the show. But
Okay.
that's exactly what we're going for because if you're gonna be at home, you want to look good, and that's the most important person to look good for in the first place. So that's why I created the brand here.
And I love your brand. Now I'm gonna have to take my robe off because as you see, my glasses are fogging up just a little bit because I'm overheated. But we wanted to start off just showing you how you can be at home, you can be comfortable, and you can be fashionable also. So Brandyn, when we were talking before, I was telling you about how someone had gifted me with the robe. And at first I was like, well, people, what can I really do with a robe? But I found out it's comfortable, is comforting also. When I'm in my robe, I feel good enough to just almost wrap up in it and go to sleep. So for y'all that's like, well, I don't need a robe. You need a robe in your life. And so after this interview tonight, I want you to be encouraged, number one, to step out the box like Brandyn did. Like he said, I am a fashion designer, which he is. He had in his mind an idea, but he brought it out of his mind into his hand. And then he took the leap and he moved to a place where fashion pops and where he can link up with people that understand where his vision is and where he's going. And so that's what I want you to, if you don't get anything out of this interview tonight, I want you to watch how this young man is strategic in his journey. And you know what? You kind of remind me of Tyler Perry. how strategic he was in growing his brand. And Brandon is following in his footsteps, but instead he's following his footsteps to fashion designing. So, Brandon, this is $1 million question that everybody always asks every designer. What inspired you to become a designer and to start your successful brand, Homebody Friends?
Well, first I want to say thank you for the Tyler Perry comment there. Uh, I'm a real big fan, and I love their work. And that's one of the examples that I really do look up to. So I'm glad that I can do something that reminds you of them. So thank you for that. But I still am trying to figure out what a successful brand looks like in today's society. There's so many ways to look at success, and there's so many ways to kind of measure our goals. And for me, I still look at it as if we're starting today. Like round one, and I'm able to approach it with like a clear and fresh approach because I don't know, it's just like being in a new city. I started this brand in 2018 in Phoenix, Arizona, without any kind of knowledge of marketing or how to run a brand or anything like that. I just wanted to start a community of people that like to stay at home. So, the how I got into, building out a brand, it just started with that community that I built. So that's really, kind of like where the foundation should start. Where does your community live? Where are they at? So my community is all at home, and it's a growing community, and there's a lot of homebody friends out there.
It's funny when you said 2018, I thought about something. You was forward thinking because when the pandemic hit, did you feel like excitement like, oh boy, now my brand is really gonna blow up because like everybody's at home. Did you
It,
feel that way?
it was a bittersweet time because I know the pandemic was a tough time for a lot of people, and I sympathize for those that really suffered through those times. But at the same time, it was I would say a very relevant time for homebody friends, and I was able to capitalize on some opportunities there. And shortly after the pandemic, we were able to do two fashion shows in Phoenix, Arizona. So that was a lot of fun. And now I'm bringing all of that expertise, all of that passion, all of that here to New York City.
Wow. So what would you say? I know we off the cuff, but what would you say to somebody that that is doing the designing, but they just have not broken through yet? That they know they got a great design, but they haven't found their right clientele. People admire their work. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's nice. But they don't know how to get their brand out there. Like you having fashion shows and everything. What would you say to that up and coming designer? Or what did you needed to be said to you as an up and coming designer?
Just keep going, and you can do it too. Uh, there's um, there's not a one size fits all when it comes to marketing yourself or to you know um, trying to push your brand out there. There's a lot of ways that you can go about it, and the main thing is just being consistent. And if you don't do anything, just wake up every day and do something with your brand. I don't care if it's maybe you wake up and you look at it in response to some emails, or maybe you wake up and you do a whole website post, or maybe the next day you do something. Just keep your activity and your engagement on your brand consistent, and that's going to lead you to a lot of opportunities that would maybe point you in the right direction to where you should scale up.
Hmm, very good advice. That's great advice for anybody that has a business, a nonprofit. The key to success is movement. And a lot of people, like if I can just get a building, you can get a building, but a building does not mean that you sell anything just by being set up in the building. You can be at a vendor event, have the best setup ever, but if you are not where people want your product, you're not going to sell a thing. You're going to get a lot of affirmations, a lot of people looking, but nobody's buying. The key to business is sales. That's basically what business is. So when did it go from just selling your items with the name Homebody Friends to it becoming fashion? It's just like I sell t-shirts, but I think it's evolving more to a fashion brand more so than just a t-shirt brand. So when did it become like that for you?
I would say it was right around the time I discovered Virtual Abloh of Off-White. There was a video of him and Kanye and West, who they just kind of shared like a celebratory moment at one of Virgil's fashion shows. And when I saw that video, I was like, what's going on here? Because I understood who Kanye and West was, but I didn't understand who the designer was. So I looked into Virgil Abloh, discovered his brand Off White, and I immediately just became hooked. I was just really fascinated by all the work that they put out. I watched, a lot of the interviews that they did, a lot of the documentaries. We had a lot of things in common. Rest his soul. He did pass away, but that was just like, the turning point for me was just, I gotta go from just having something with Homebody Friends on it to actually putting some work behind it and, using my creativity to turn it into fashion, just like Virgil did.
That's good. That's good. Sometimes you can see somebody doing something else and it might be positive or negative, but it still will give you the inspiration. I have a friend, she started her t-shirt line because so many t-shirts have negative messages and negative sayings. So what she did, she started a positive t-shirt line, faith, I think it's faith to fashion. And so I really admire her because she saw an issue and she capitalized off of it. And I think business is basically solving a problem that you see in society, your solution to something that's missing. So that's why I always tell people, and I'm glad that you're walking in your gift because when the Bible says your gift makes room for you, that means there's a space, there's a spot that's been created for you to slide your business in and fit it. And some people like, oh, I have a small business. I don't believe any business is small because you do the same work as you do with a big business. You show up, you work hard. Am I right, Brandon?
Absolutely, absolutely, you're right.
Okay. So, how did you find your target market? People that want to stay at home and be fashionable. Did you go to an introvert conference? I'm just kidding.
That's actually a really good idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if that does exist out there already. But for me, it just started on Facebook and Instagram. The brand just started with the idea of me. So it was just one night I was just going to a party, and the entire time I'm going there, I'm just thinking about going home. I'm thinking about getting back in my robe and just, just chilling. So I went to the party. I stayed for maybe an hour and a half. I said what's up to everybody, and then I left, like going back home, right? So on my way home, I'm just staying, I'm thinking to myself, I'm saying, okay, I wish there was more people that were like me, more people that were homebodies, or people that were homebody friends, right? So that's
Mhm.
how the name came out. And I got home and I made the Facebook group, just called it Homebody Friends. I made it a private group and it was invite only. So, you had to be a homebody to join into the group. And the content was just content about people staying at home. So the group grew to a couple thousand, and it was just, people just posting themselves at home, whether they were at home with a cat or a dog, or, maybe they were just, maybe I get a lot of gaming setups, I get a lot of pictures, people like those, a lot of chefs, a lot of people just all kind of things, all kind of homebodies out there. So we just talk about being a homebody and just being at home, and it's absolutely wonderful. So that's how I found my target audience, and I'm sure that it is going to be like a lot of ways that I can, find more people that are like that. But how I got my start was through Facebook in the groups.
That makes sense. Create a group for people that like to be at home, can fellowship because it's like it's almost frowned upon in society when you like, oh, they was like, what you like to do? Oh, I just like being at home. They're gonna push you. Oh, you gotta like more than that. I mean, do you like to travel? And you're like, no, I just like being at home. And there's nothing wrong with it because the amount of money that you spend on your home, you need to be at home sometimes enjoying those type of things. And the way and the pandemic, I think, has created more homebodies because I know I was a little bit more sociable. Now it's like I'm like you, Brandon. Wherever I'm at, I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all been in a function with me, I'm confessing. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till it's over. I just want to go home. And so I started thinking, Brandon, something was wrong with me. I said, why do I always want to be at home? Because home is a safe place. And if you are an introvert, it's where you recharge at. See, people that are introverts, we're like an electric car. So we get charged up at home and then we're out. And by the time our energy get low, our energy level get low, we can't recharge unless we get back home. So people that's extrovert, they love that. When they low, they go out and be around people. In case you don't know the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. So believe it or not, we can laugh, we can socialize, and you'll think we love people, love that. But when we get home, we like, oh my God. I mean, have you ever felt like somebody had beat you up when you come from a social event?
No, but I have felt more so like drained and like my social meter is just real depleted. And I love the analogy of the electric car
Mm-hmm.
because I would consider myself confidently introverted, but I'm extroverted around the right people. But
Mm-hmm.
that electric car is a really good analogy because it's you can just kind of visually see when someone's social meter just kind of runs out. And for some people, that electric car might go a little bit further than others. And that's okay. That's really, like you said, like being a homebody kind of has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna change that through fashion. And I'm like, okay, where if you're gonna be at home, you might as well look good for yourself anyways, because deep down inside, that person that thinks that you're whatever boring or whatever, they also love staying at home too. So they're really, kind of making fun of themselves.
And
So
then I like how you connecting people that's at home. We don't mind connecting online. We don't mind texting. I think it's the talking you think that kind of drains the introvert.
I want to say it varies from everybody. Sometimes I get drained just by looking at somebody. If, if I see a bunch of people, I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I didn't see it. So but it's just different, it's for some people it could be a conversation, but that could be a way for that introverted person to go out and maybe they crave that social interaction. Maybe they're just waiting for that conversation to happen. So it could be, a blessing in disguise as well. So
Mm.
I don't know what it could be for, but I know for me, it's just if I can just see you, smell you, just because I feel like I just like take on these other energies. So like I
Okay.
mentally prepare myself to go into crowded places and rooms, but like I don't be there for very long.
Okay. I get it. I totally get it. So we're gonna take a 60-second break and we're gonna see if everybody's home to watch the Ruby Girl talk. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute to say whatever you want to say, Brandon. And while you do that, I'm gonna look on Facebook and see if anybody commented or anybody out there watching. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go right ahead. The show is yours.
All right. Well, thank you everybody that's tuned in. Again, my name is Brandyn Jenkins. I run a lifestyle brand called Homebody Friends. It's it's a clothing brand for people that like to stay home. So the website homebodyfriends.com. I've got robes, sweatshirts, anything that you would like to wear when you're at home. Those oversized T-shirts that we love to wear, those pajama pants, the slippers. I've got it all. So if you enjoy staying at home, or if you resonate with being a homebody, this brand is going to be for you. And, I will have new collections seasonally. So, it's definitely going to be something to look forward to. And I appreciate you guys watching.
All right. Make sure you give them your website, or
Uh,
did you give it?
yeah, again, it's homebodyfriends.com and also on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Um, we're all at homebodyfriends.com.
I like that consistent branding all the way across. You ain't got to find Brandon here or this BJ here or HBF here. Is all consistent branding. So he gave y'all a so far in talking to Brandon. Brandon done told y'all. He done gave y'all the tip of work your business every day. Um, he's taught us how to step out on faith. And number three, he's taught us to go where you can grow. Go where you're around people that are like mind. Go where what you have would be received. Because it's nothing worse than going to the desert and you selling sand. Nobody's gonna buy sand. The demand is water. And so that's why you gotta know who your business fit. You can't try to fit your business on everybody or be general and say everybody wants your product. Some people might buy what you're selling. Some people might like oranges, like you selling oranges. They might like oranges, but then they might not like oranges as big as yours. So that's why it's very important, as Brandon has taught us, to find your target audience and find a way to reach out to them and to connect with them. And so starting that group that you did, that is a brilliant idea. I'm still thinking about that you created a group for people at home. You gave them a place to socialize, a place just to post and be okay, because I know they feel like a outsider. Now they're somewhere where people understand them. They don't have to explain why they don't want to go to this social event. So while you were talking, I went out there and Renee is out there watching, and she left a comment. So she said she's a homebody too. That's Renee. And she says she feels you all the way, Mr. Brandon. So thank you, Renee, for out there watching, and everybody else. If I didn't, I might not have saw your comments. Facebook is stingy. And so if you're out there watching, I want you to do something right quick. I want you to pause, raise your finger, bring it down on the share button. And so now you have just did something free and you have just blessed hundreds of people all over the world. Why? Because you're sharing this video. So we go to the second part of the show. The first part, we wanted to talk about the start of Brandon's brand. We wanted to talk about the reason for his brand. And even he dropped us so many good business nuggets. So I hope y'all was really watching. If you just coming in now, that's okay, because we're going to talk about his marketing a little bit more. As you see, he's strategic in marketing. He know exactly how to reach the people that he needs to reach. And for a lot of business owners, Brandon, that is our problem. One, we don't know who we reaching out to, and then when we find out, we don't know how to reach out to them. So here's a question that's off the cuff. So I'm gonna throw you some questions off the cuff because I'm gonna see how good you are. All right. So this part is gonna be like a little test. But how would you tell people how to find exactly who is their target audience?
How would how would I okay, say the question again? I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna say the question again. So a lot of businesses don't know who their target audience is when they start. They just know they got a good product and they think everybody out there wants it. That's the misconception that most business owners have. What advice would you give somebody that's trying to find their target audience?
Don't focus on trying to find your target audience. Focus on making a really good product and making that available and build it and they'll come.
Okay. All right. Now that's a good answer. That's the first time I've heard that answer. That's a good answer. All right. So here we go. So you have worked in marketing and you wanted to give, and you're willing to give us some tips with much pushing and begging. No, I'm just kidding, but he's willing. As you see, he's a very generous hearted man. So how do people build up social media engagement?
Being consistent and doing a lot. Well, if you want to be, strategic with it, I would say doing a lot of split tests for A/B testing. That allows you to look at the social media growth at an analytical approach to it. But if you're just looking to just kind of grow your socials, get more followers, get more engagement, which is, the ultimate goal as well, I would just say just stay consistent and just find out what your audience will engage with the most.
So I'm noticing a lot of people that's being monetized, they're posting posts to get engagement, but some of the stuff is not relevant to what they do, or it's just to get a response from people. So would you say all engagement, any engagement is good engagement?
I would say there is a difference between having engagement and then relevant engagement. So, actually building out your target audience and your social media growth, you also want to build out a relationship with them and respond to comments and respond to direct messages. And, that, you know, brand consistency and that, consistency with communication to your audience is going to be a lot more valuable than just having just a lot of engagement that's just kind of mass, because you do see that a lot with a lot of accounts. They'll just kind of post, other viral videos just to kind of get engagement, but you can still be intentional with your social media approach.
So you think those accounts are just trying to get numbers, trying to get likes,
I can't speak for them. I'm not in
some
those.
of.
Uh,
Okay.
not
Okay.
anything like that because I focus on creating good products. And, maybe one day I can delegate my social media to someone else, but for now I just kind of focus on making and creating a good product and not staying focused on the
Yeah, because sometimes I look at the comments and people be so mad in them comments. They be like, they just did this for likes and comments. Yep, and you fell for it and you made a comment. Like a lot of people on Instagram will post some little bit of a movie, but they won't put the title. So you got like 1,000 comments. What's the name? What's the name? What's the name? Then people will play with them. They'll put
brand.
out the false links and all that. Then you see people get mad. This makes no sense whatsoever. Why would you do this? And it's kind of funny because it's like, don't take it so serious. And I'll see people ask 15 times, what's the title? And nobody will even tell them. They'll tell them, oh, yeah, this is episode 5. And so I'm like, is somebody baiting them? So then they got to respond. So you look, you got all these comments going on. Then you got these people that's angry, not even realizing you're keeping their algorithm really, really going. So, what is the biggest mistake people do in marketing their business that you see?
I would say just not really paying attention to their audience as far as what they engage with the most. Just kind of look at what is available to you. So for me, it was a lot of analytics through Google as well as my website through Shopify. I look at that data like every day, and I see that my target audience is predominantly women. So what do? I try to focus and craft my message and my social media to women, and specifically through a good age range that I found through those same analytics. Now, what works for me may not work for the next person, but it could be helpful, So if you get enough data, you can be analytical with it. But for now, if you were, kind of just getting started and you're, going to figure out what's going to, create a lot of engagement, I would say look at the product that you're putting out or look at, whatever, you want to get accomplished, create a situation and you kind of focus on what your brand does to fix this problem. Tell us why it exists and why you're doing it and why it's there and what it can do for people and see how that messaging works for you.
So, what would you think was the biggest mistake you made when you started your brand?
Biggest mistake I made was man, I would say it was not not reinvesting into the brand enough. I would um, want to, you know, understand how to run a business a bit more effectively when it comes to understanding a budget. And it's taken years. It's still taken a lot of people years to figure it out. But I'm learning as I go. But I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a mistake. It's more of like a learning lesson because if you're not learning from it, then it becomes a pattern. So I don't really view those as, necessarily mistakes, but, those have to happen in order for you to learn about other areas of the business.
I think as a entrepreneur, whatever you learn stays relevant. You know, if you're on your job, systems come, they go, and so your knowledge becomes outdated. But I think with an entrepreneur, no matter how you advance in your business, the knowledge that you learn as you go is always there to help somebody that's behind you. So it never like, well, I learned how to fill out an LLC paper. I don't never ever need that anymore. You're gonna run into somebody that's gonna need that knowledge. So remember, as you growing entrepreneurs, you're learning also to help somebody else that's behind you. Don't be like, I don't need that anymore because I've advanced past that. And so that's what I like what you said that you're learning about budgeting and you're learning more so the back office. I think that sometimes for some people, the back office is the hardest part of the business. You really just want to sell, you really just want to get out there, you want to do the fun part of it. You know, it's just like marriage. Like the wedding is the greatest part ever. That's the greatest day. That's the perfect day. You know, the bride is so beautiful. The groom is so overcome. But after the wedding, here comes the bills. Here comes the children, the in-laws, and all that. And I think that's how the back office, some people view it as being the marriage, but the business is being the wedding part because then you're meeting people, they're seeing your products, you're getting it out there, and then you got to sit down and put all your mileage together, put your budget together, make your projections, and do your accounting. And that's not fun. And I will tell you, I am horrible at it, horrible at it. But I do it because I have to keep my business going. And plus, the IRS requires it. I'm just going to be honest. But I get what you're saying. So, a lot of things that you think you made a mistake on, it's not a mistake, it's a learning opportunity. And that's what I think we need to look for in business. You're going to do some things that's right, and you're going to do a lot of things that are wrong. So, don't think that everybody that's up there that's a well known designer like Brandon is, that he did not make mistakes on his way up there to being, I'm speaking it, the number one at home brand. And what's so amazing, if you really think about it, fashion appeals to you going out and other people admiring what you got on. Yours is the reverse. Yours is to stay at home, be comfortable, and look good while you are at home. You know, to make the homebody feel good, to make the homebody look good while they're at home. So
Well, for
yours is, uh-huh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's about just being comfortable wherever you go because I wear this robe everywhere. If it's warm or cool enough outside, or comfortable enough outside, I should say, I wear it, to on the plane, to the bank, to the grocery store. Like I wear it anywhere. So
So it's
some yeah, I'll just wear it in replace of a jacket because it's that comfortable.
so you think because you got your brand on there, it makes it more outside wearable also versus my little hot pink robe, it'll be spotted immediately as that is a robe.
I would say, if that's what you have and that's what you want to wear outside, who says no? You know,
Okay.
even if they look at you and they say that's a robe, it's like, yeah, are you jealous? It sounds like you want to wear one too.
I'm
But
not that brave yet. I'm from that generation that says, um, bed clothes stay in the house. Yeah, I'm from that generation. Y'all be brave out there in y'all pajama pants and all that. I be like bonnets. I'm like, oh boy, we couldn't even go in the yard with stuff like that. So here's another question for you. What advice would you give to business owners who have a hard time posting on social media for their business? I was on a call tonight and the lady has said that people that she's got this contract, but she said people going to have to post like 3 times a day. I felt the energy without anybody saying anything on that call. For a lot of people, for them to post 1 time a day is a lot, but 3 times a day. So what advice would you give that business owner that's out there that's like, oh, my social media is lacking?
do it anyway. Do it anyway. Find something to talk about. If it's not a piece of content that doesn't work for you aesthetically, visually, whether it's like an image, video, like a GIF, whatever, image that you want to put out consistently. If you don't have that piece of content readily available, just post on your stories. Talk to people that will respond to your stories, and those are just posts that'll stay up for 24 hours. Those can get a lot of views organically. From people that may or may not follow your page as well. So you get some free advertisement just through posting on your stories. And, you can do that every day. If it's not again, if it's not a piece of content that you feel confident in posting on your socials, just wake up that day and post on your story and talk to your audience, talk to your followers. Just post about what you're working on, or just post something. Stay consistent. That's the main thing.
Okay. And you know what? I agree with you. Can you imagine people before the internet? They were successful. So if they were successful without social media, without access to people all over the world, I want y'all to listen, business owners. You have free access to people all over the world. You have free access to millions and trillions of people out there, people you would never even see. You have access to them, that much influence, and you say, I don't feel like doing my social media today. Can you imagine people before the internet, how they had wished for something like this? So they had to get commercials. Um, they used to have ads in the paper. I know it's foreign now, but on Sundays, the Sunday paper used to be real thick because it had a whole bunch of advertising in there, and people used to buy it just for the advertising. Now people buy it for the coupons, but that was the thing. So I would love the sales papers, go through their branding and imagine things that I could buy or see things that I wanted to buy, everything. But now everything is on social media. Even dating. There used to be people used to put ads, and remember that? People used to put ads in the newspaper, single, looking to mingle. Would love to have anyone that would have me. Call me at such and such. So that's how that got started before everything became online. So now we got this new technology. We got this technology that we can reach even more people. And we sit there and say, I don't feel like posting. If you forget to post, that's what your phone is for. Put a reminder in there. But if you on your job, if that was your job, you would do it. So think about it. When you don't post, when you don't do lives, you miss so much money. And I have been guilty of it myself. I wouldn't do a live branding for years. And you know why? Because I was like, I don't like how I look on videos and da da da. But once I start, but the inventory was building up, building up, building up, and I wasn't doing vendor shows. Once I started doing live, sitting in my kitchen making money, I was like, what was I thinking?
No, you're absolutely right, and I can honestly say I kind of fall victim of the same thing. I shouldn't say victim, but I can be better about that as well, because you're absolutely right. It's all out there for free. We have access to, I feel like we're only, what, 5 or 6 degrees separation from knowing pretty much anybody in the world. So, the fact that, we can just get online and, possibly get in front of, the right kind of person that you need for your business, that opportunity is there every day. So, and like you mentioned, sometimes you're just like, man, I don't know if I want to get on live because I'm like my hair looking all crazy. But if you think about it, if you ever watch anybody else's live, are you ever thinking about, wow, why are they looking like all crazy right now? Like you're not really focused on like them at all. You're just trying to figure out what they're talking about or what they're doing. So just focus on that, and it's, you might surprise yourself. And like you mentioned, you can make a lot of money just by going on live and just talking to
You know, it's funny you say that. I'm that person that be like, why do they background look like that? Only because I'm surrounded by people that be on your branding. So I actually brought a course from a lady. She was in her bedroom. Her bed wasn't even made.
uh,
Yeah, and she's selling. When I tell you, she is really selling her course and everything. And here I am. I'm sitting up here. I need this good background and everything, but I'm not making money. So I think sometimes with us, we get so caught up in the perfection of something that we do nothing. So perfection can cost you money. Honestly, my thought pattern is, and some people, it's two type of business people. There's that business person that everything is lined up before they launch, and then there's me that's like, let's go, let's make that money. As I make the money, I build my website. As I build my website, I get somebody else to come in and make it better. But I've learned how to do that. That's me. I feel like waiting that 2 years to start was 2 years I could have been out there influencing people, getting to people to know me, putting my brand out there, but perfecting it along the way. So it's all about how you want your brand to be presented and want your brand to be started. So, Brandon, believe it or not, it's time for us to close out. I so enjoyed talking to you tonight. You have been an excellent guest, as I knew you would be. You have really helped me out a lot. I love your brand, Homebody. And, for your closeout, I'm going to put this roll back on. Don't talk about me if my glasses fogged up. I'm supporting my guest. If he's going to, be comfortable at home, I'm going to be comfortable at home too. So, Brandon, I want you to give us a 2-minute closeout. But before you get started, let me pull your website up because I really want them to see how creative you are and how your brand is just so amazing. That's the best I can say about it. It's truly amazing. Okay. All right, go right ahead, Mr. Brandon.
at 2 minutes. Um, Thank you for again for having me on the show, Miss Cameron. But yeah, again, my name is Brandyn Jenkins, and yeah, I started this brand called Homebody Friends. It's a brand for people that like to stay home. So right now, it's just clothes for people that like to stay at home. So right now, you can see some of the products that I've designed. Yeah, those are these designs are just real straightforward. It's just comfortable clothes. You know, uh, yeah. I mean, actually, can you click on the here's a really cool option here. Can you click on that affiliate program link?
Sure.
So really cool area here if you guys are still watching. So I'm always looking for people to work with and people to collaborate with, and this is like a really cool way that we can actually work together. So with Homebody Friends, you can actually set yourself up as an affiliate partner, and what that is that all you have to do is, maybe you buy, one product from the store. And if you are someone that posts on social media and you enjoy what you saw today on the website, or you just enjoy staying at home and you want to get the word out about it, and you will actually get a promo code that people can use. And if they use that code on my store to buy something, you actually get a percentage of that sale. So I have several Homebody Friends affiliates right now, and they're all making money just from getting their friends to buy the clogs, the robes, whatever that they feel resonated with on the on store here. So again, this is a really great way to build out your portfolio, especially if you're trying to get into the affiliate marketing space. I would love to work with you. Feel free to reach out to me directly. Again, I'm Brandyn Jenkins. You can just find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all at Homebody Friends. Specifically on this particular page that we're on here. This is the affiliate marketing program. Again, all you have to do is just post, just like I'm wearing a robe right now. You post it on social media. Someone uses your code to buy one of their own. You get some money on the back end from that. So, if you guys have any questions about this part right here, feel free to let me know. Again, I would love to work with you. Thank you guys so much, and thank you, Karen, for the space here and the platform. It feels good to be in this chair to have this conversation, and your outfit is actually the reason why I wear a robe outside as well, because you can be stylish with it as well. You can wear the jewelry, you can wear whatever whatever casual attire you want to wear. All you got to do is just take it on off or put it right back on, and then you're comfortable, right? So
Yeah.
comfort is key for every homebody. That's really why I made this brand. So thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. Thank you for being on the Ruby Girl Talk tonight. And like I said, speaking with Brandon today has just inspired I hope it has inspired you to get started if you haven't with your business. If you're a designer, to get around other designers. Brandon just didn't move to Texas. He moved to a place where fashion is king. And so you got to do your research when it comes to finding out who wants your product. It doesn't make sense to market a product to people that don't need it. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're wasting their time too. In business, we have to be strategic because people out there need what we have. And Brandon found a space that needed his business. People that are at home. A lot of people wouldn't market to people too much that's at home, especially fashion. But he saw a need. He was like, wait a minute, I like being at home and looking good and being comfortable and having something that I could just walk out the house and go to the gas station. How many times do we have to come out our robe and put something else on just to go to the gas station? He said, this is so fashionable and so fly that I could just actually throw on my shoes and just walk right on out the door with it. So, Brandon, I want to thank you for being such a focused young man. I'm so serious about what you do and knowing what you do. A lot of us are serial entrepreneurs, but I see you have narrowed it down to a niche, to fashion. You're not trying to do fashion, film, maybe not yet, sing, dance, all that stuff like that. You're sticking with fashion. And so just concentrate on the one thing, Brandon. Perfect that one thing, make that one thing big. And so I just want to thank you for on short notice being a guest. And I don't have too many men on my show, so you are historical. You probably the second man that was on my show this year. So I just want to thank you so much for what you're doing, how you are inspiring others.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on the show as well. And again, I love what you're doing. So thank you for having me on the Real Talk Show.
Oh, you're welcome. And you know what's so funny is I asked Brandon, I said, Brandon, you think we can? Because really my last name is supposed to be Jenkins instead of Dodd. So we might be kin somewhere down the line. We might be some kins. We might be cousins, Brandon, cousin Brandon. You never know. So anyway, everybody, make sure you go to homebodyfriends.com and support Brandon. Even if you become affiliate, imagine wearing something really nice and then people compliment it, and then you can send them and make money off of what you wear. That's awesome. It's a win-win for Brandon. It's a win-win for you. So all right, everybody, thank you for watching the Ruby Girl Talk. I will be back next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. with another awesome guest. And if you are that awesome guest, just say, I want to be next on the Ruby Girl Talk Show. So, all right, Brandon, you have a great and fantastic evening. So, Facebook, we're going to sign off. We're going to leave you. So, all right, have a good night, Facebook.